We're still in from Saul to Paul, and then more than likely we'll go right into the works of Paul and what Paul was doing. Let's go to Romans 10:14. Nope. Let's go to Proverbs 22. Sorry. Let's go to Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22. Hello. So let's go to Proverbs 22. We're going to start at verse 1. And then when you find it, go back to Acts 9, because that's going to be our key verse. But we're going to frame it with Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22, we're going to start at verse 1. And then Acts 9, we're going to start at verse 10 for Acts 9. So remember, we're still talking about the transition from Saul to Paul. Earlier this morning, we talked about Saul's loss of sight and what that meant. We also ended up talking about Saul, who would become Paul's suffering, which was kind of representative of the suffering of all Christians. So today, we're going to frame it with Proverbs 22 and 1. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. The rich and the poor have this in common: the Lord is the maker of all of them. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Meaning, I would rather have a good name in my community, in the place that I live, in the place that I work. I would rather have a good name than money, power, riches, and all that comes with it. A good name is better than all of that. Okay, let's pause there. Let's go on right on over to Acts here. Let's talk of this. Let's look at what's going on with Saul. I'm gonna put a little tag there because I'm going to come back to that in a minute. All right. So Acts 9. We're going to be looking at 10 through 16. So now there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias, and to him the Lord said in a vision, Ananias, and he said, Here I am. And the Lord said to him, Arise, go to the street called Straight, and inquire at the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus. For behold, he is praying, and in a vision he has seen a man named Ananias coming in, putting his hand on him so that he might receive his sight. Then Ananias answered the Lord, here it comes, I have heard from many about this man, how much harm he has done to your saints in Jerusalem. And here he has authority from the chief priests to bind all who call on your name. 15, but the Lord said to him, Go, for he is a chosen vessel of mine to bear my name before Gentiles, kings, and the children of Israel, for I will show him how many things he must suffer for my name's sake. Now, just like a good name is to be chosen over riches, a bad name is equally as important. I want you to really get this here. I won't be before you long. But whenever a preacher says that, you know, if you tuck in, it's going to be a while. But I won't be before you long. Here's where I want you to get. Saul has this great experience with God on the road. Saul is on the road to doing something evil, and God reaches down and touches him in a mighty way. If Saul had showed up to the Christian community at Damascus and said, God spoke to me, every Christian would have told him that he was lying and would not have believed him. Even though God intervened in Saul's life, even though God did a great thing there on the road of Damascus, because of Saul's name in the community, no one would have believed him. And they would have been right to do so. Because Saul has a reputation, and that reputation he earned. You, as Christians, should not just believe everything and everybody that calls themselves a Christian. Just because everybody says, I'm a Christian, she's a Christian. You know how many Christian con artists there are now? They come to the church and they say, I'm a Christian, and because they say I'm a Christian, we lower our guards and we say, okay, he said he's a Christian, so everything that comes out of their mouth next, we're going to believe. And then they say, I've got this great plan for your money. And you say, but you see, they don't say it that way. They say, this is the kingdom, we're going to build some nonsense. And you say, all right, and you give them your life savings. And then you find out they were just Christian in name. I want you to really get this here, because Saul had a reputation. The Christians knew who this man was because of what he did in his past. You got to look at people's history. And people say, you can't judge me. Why not? Why not? We know the tree by the fruit. You can't tell me, oh, you conned every other person, but me, you're going to do something special. No. Don't work that way. If a man says I'm a Christian, then I'm waiting to see the fruit. If a man says I'm a Christian, I'm waiting to see the fruit. If a man says I'm a pastor, I'm waiting to hear pastoral things come out of your mouth. I met a man that says he's a pastor when we first got here. My wife and I, we like to go down to antique places. You know, like there's like First Monday, but there's one in Canton. It's kind of not Canton. This other place, huh? Flea market. We like to go down there and find junk and buy it. There was a man there, he called himself a Christian. They said, okay. But then he said he was a pastor. We said, okay. He said, I'm a pastor. We said, okay. And then he said, I have 5 girlfriends. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, you lost me. You lost me there. You lost me. I don't know what type of pastor you're doing. But any pastor I know don't have 5 girlfriends. But you see, he tried to disarm me by saying he's a Christian. Okay. Then he tried to disarm me by saying what? He's a pastor. So now my guard is let down. So then when he says he has 5 girlfriends, if I wasn't listening, I might think, well, heck, if the pastor says he has 5 girlfriends, then maybe I could have 5 girlfriends. If the pastor can have it, I can have it. Not everybody who says they're a pastor is a pastor. Not everybody says they're a man of God is a man of God. I want you to get that. If a good name is worth more than gold, then a bad name is not worth the gold it's given. We got to test everybody, especially in this day and age, where we don't know who's a Christian, who's not. We don't know who's a pastor, who's not. Heck, even denominations are starting to fall now, as we see these things start to creep in. So even if they say, I go to church, you can't even take that. You have to take that on its face, because you don't know what church they go to and what they're praising in that church. So even saying, I go to church every Sunday ain't worth that. It ain't worth anything anymore. Saul had a name that he earned. And before Ananias was going to accept him, even as God came and talked to him, Ananias said, wait a minute, I know that man. Whoa, 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 God. Now he's talking directly to God. And he says, no, God, I know Saul. He's not a Christian. That man's coming to kill Christians. Why? Because he did his homework. You got to know the people that you're dealing with. You just can't let everybody say they're a Christian come in and pour into their life. I tell you what, I don't let everybody pray for me. I don't know what those prayers are going to say. I know I had a phone call with one man that said he prayed 7 times a day for my death. You don't know what they're praying for. You got to know that they got a connection with God before they pray for you or over you. You don't know. They could be praying demons into your life. Ananias did his homework. Wait a minute, God. I know Saul. That's the man that did all that nonsense in Jerusalem, and now he's coming here to kill people. Now watch this. Watch this. I want you to get this. God never says, Ananias, you're wrong. God's real quick to put you down if you're out of place, right? He's real quick to say, hey, you're out of place. Get back in line. God doesn't say that. God says, no. Go, for he is a chosen bearer of mine. It takes God to tell Ananias to go to him. He wasn't going to go by himself. He wasn't going to put in danger the Christian community for this man who is going to kill. So God has to come to him and say, Ananias, I got a plan for him. Go to him. You ever talk to a person? Or maybe it's just me. You ever talk to a person and they're saying all the right things, but you don't feel right? They're saying everything that's right, but it just don't feel right. Something's wrong here. I can't put my finger on it, but something about you rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I would suggest to you, every single time that's happened to me, God has been right. Every single time I feel, and there's some people, I promise, there's some people it's the exact opposite. I come to you and I think, oh, this person, we're going to be enemies automatically just from looking at you. But then I hold a conversation and I find out I'm at peace with this conversation. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm at peace with it. That's the Holy Spirit that gives us the discernment to say yay or nay, go or don't go. Not everybody who says that they are Christian are not. But likewise, not everybody is going to wear large crosses and tell you that they're a Christian. Some people, they just do their thing quietly by themselves. They don't need the spotlight. They like to be behind the scenes. They just like to clean the church and be quiet. They don't need to be out in front of everybody. They don't need to be a pastor. They just like to clean the church and be quiet. You would never know. But if you look at their life, if you really look at their life, you see Christ working all in their life. But they don't have to wear their Christianity out on like a billboard. So this person that wears crosses every day, but does all types of evil. Then you got another person that doesn't wear any crosses. They're just quietly serving the Lord. They're Christians too. And then you say, which one would you rather be? You see, Saul had a real problem. And the problem is, he had earned his name in the Christian community as being evil. And it was not until, even when Ananias came and laid his hands on Saul, still all the Christians said, no, that's the man who's come to kill us. It took him time to work into that community. It took him time and preaching and telling people, I'm a Christian. They didn't just accept it. They watched and they waited to see if he changed. We just accept everybody. I don't know we're amazing people. We just say, oh, you're a Christian now? I know that you used to shoot, kill, rob. I know you used to stab people in the night. But you say you're a Christian now? Come on into my house. Come on into my house. You can sleep with me. No! No, it doesn't work that way. Saul was a mass murderer of Christians. Before he was accepted in the community sat there and watched him. Okay, this is a put on, right? No, it's not a put on. He said he's met Jesus. Yeah, okay. He said he met Jesus. Yeah, he met Jesus. All right, let's just watch him for a second. See what he does. When he watch, he's going to turn us in. I know he's going to turn us in, but let's just watch. So now they're watching. Oh, Saul actually changed. Look at this. All right. Well, now he's going to see what it feels like to be persecuted then. So a person says, I met Jesus on the road to Damascus. You say, that's great. Baby, I'm glad you met Jesus. So then you say, let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see if this Jesus thing wears off. Oh, you met Jesus in a hospital bed. That's right. I was in intensive care. Oh, that's great. You met Jesus? Yeah. All right, let's just wait and see. I'll see you at church Sunday then. Let's just wait and see what happens. I'm not talking about this Sunday. I'm talking about the Sunday in 3 or 4 months. Let's see what happens then. Let's see what happens when you start having problems. Let's see what happens then. Or if you revert back to the old man. All throughout the New Testament, when we're talking about Paul and Saul never reverted back. All his time, all the suffering, all the pain, he said, I'm not turning around. That's what the real conversion looks like. That's what we're waiting to see. You have a conversion, you have a moment of weakness, you cry out to God. I've been in many intensive cares. I've yet to see an atheist there. But you say, after that moment, when that moment is past, when that God moment is past, that's what I really want to see. Not what happened on the road to Damascus. I want to see everything after. The Damascus road can change you or it can make you worse. But I want to see, who are you 3 months later? What fruit are you bearing? I should see. Now you say, you can't judge me. You can't judge me. Okay, that's fine. I'm not judging you. But I want to see the light of God in your life first. Before I let you in my home, I want to see the light of God first. I want to see the true change first. If I don't see the Saul to Paul conversion over, not just today, but I'm talking about tomorrow and the next day, it's going to be hard, but I want to see it. You ask Saul. Saul's life sucked when he became Paul. He had everything as Saul. He lost everything to become Paul. And you ask him, he said, count it all joy. But Paul, as Saul, you were riding high, having dinner with the mayor and the governor. You were getting letters. You were loved by everybody. Yeah, but that was all nothing compared to the joy I have from serving God. We cannot allow for people to just come into our lives professing to be Christianity but bearing no fruit. This shows that. That's why a good name is worth more than gold. A good name is everything. A good name precedes you everywhere you go. You walk into a new situation, They're going to say, well, who is your last boss? They're going to call them. How was Aaron? Oh, Aaron, he was okay. Or Aaron, he never showed up to work. He was always late. Oh, well, how was Aaron? Well, Aaron, he always cussed out the customers. Oh, I don't want to hire that guy. A good name will get you silver and gold if you need it. If you're good in a community, you've got not necessarily friends, but you've got people you can count on because they know that in their need, they can count on you. A good name is worth more than silver and gold because it gets you anything. Doors open that should be closed. Just because your name, they don't know you, but they know that you have done good here in this community. Therefore, I'm going to give you an opportunity. In this situation, in this world that we live, often people say, I'm shameless. I don't feel shame. I just do whatever I want to do. I say whatever I want to say. I don't care what you feel about me. You can't judge me. Okay, that's understandable. But just know that we are judging you. That's human nature. We judge. That's what we do. You don't believe me? Okay, I give you an apple. What is the first thing you're going to do? You're going to bite into it. No, you're going to what? Look at it. What's this brown spot here? What's this brown spot? Oh, no, it's fine. No, I want to know what's this brown spot here. You can have it back. If you do that with an apple, what would you do with a person? No, you just accept him. Oh, I'm a Christian. Oh, okay, come on in. You can live in my house now with my children and my daughter. You can do whatever. No, it's not that way. It doesn't work that way. We must see the fruit of your life. If we see the fruit of your life, then I'll let you sow into mine. How can I tell you, okay, you should do this and that with your children, and then you see my children running around getting crazy? You go, oh, this man don't know what he's talking about. This man don't know what he's talking about. How can I say, oh yeah, you should read the Bible, and I don't read the Bible? I don't know anything. This morning in Bible study, I got asked a question. I said, I don't know. But here's the thing. She knows that next Sunday, she's going to have that answer. That's faith. That's the faith in me that I'm going to do my homework. You see? That's the fruit. That's the fruit of the Spirit. That's the fruit of a godly life. That's having a name that goes before you. If you don't have that, then you are cast aside. For you children, it's the same thing. You don't think teachers talk? You don't think your next teacher didn't talk to your last teacher? You don't think that your next teacher didn't say, hey, how's Haley? Oh, they know. That goes the same for you, older people. You think that your bosses don't talk? You think your neighbors don't talk? My neighbor don't know me from Adam. I told the neighbor once that I'm a preacher down here in this little church called Midway. She never heard me preach. She don't know if I'm lying or not. Every time she called me preacher. Why? Well, let's see here. She's my neighbor, so she's able to look across from her yard to my yard into my house. And guess what she does not see? She's able to see. Does he party at night? What's going on? Does he have women? What's he doing? What's going on over there? It took them months and months before they talked to me. They just sat there watching. After a while, all right, preacher. This is what the fruits of the Spirit really means. It means you are producing in such a way that people can see Christ in your life and believe you are a Christian. And because you have such a light, you should be able to see the light in others. And believe me, if you don't see that light, you should be able to step back and say, we'll wait and see. Ananias, in his answer to God, he was not wrong. That's why God did not chastise him. In his answer to God, he said, but Saul's a killer. And God said, I have something great for him. Go and do it. And I said, all right, I'm a faithful servant of God. I'm going to go and do it. But then, right after that, Saul had to go to the community of faith. And the community of faith said, oh no, we know that guy. Isn't that the same Saul that was sent to kill us? Yeah, well, we'll wait and see. But over time, that community of faith will be the same one that saved his life time after time. That community of faith would be, after he proved himself to be a faithful servant of God, would be the same people that would hide him from the officials, that would go to death for him, be imprisoned for him. A good name is worth more than silver and gold. May God be with you. Amen.